Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, Less Stress Travel. Thank you for tuning in today. My name is Marvin, and today, as I promised yesterday, you today get part 2 of my personal journey, how I became who I became today, and what I'm doing, and all this around that, okay? So if you haven't checked out the video from yesterday, I highly suggest to do that right now. Click on the link below to this video and check out part 1. But today, part 2, we'll continue where we left off yesterday. So, part 2. I just got back from Spain, from my journey over there, which completely changed my life in so many ways. I made contacts all over the world, and I can talk about that. If you are interested, I can talk about that a little bit more in another video, how this really, like, just the fact, I just want to, like, quick side note, just the fact to move to another country opened so many doors in my life, because you got to know so many different people from so many different places, which is absolutely amazing, and it's a great initiator. I can highly recommend that. But that's not the point. The point is how my journey continued. And what happened basically was I came back from Germany, and I just made the decision I want to study nutrition. I want to learn more about that because I realized how important nutrition is in everybody's life first, but also what a huge impact it can have on your life, and not just on your health, but also on your mindset, on everything. And the cool thing about that was, as soon as I changed my body, I mentioned that my mind started to shift as well. And so I was just thinking, how can I do that? And my first thought was basically, back then I was living in the east of Germany in a city called Dresden. I finished my studies in law, by the way, so I got my degree, my bachelor degree in law. That was one of the hardest years of my life, because I knew I don't want to do that, but I felt like I kind of like owned that to my parents, and a little bit also to myself, that I finished that. And it's never bad to have a plan B, even though you know you don't want to do that. Just to have like an education on the side, it's never bad, right? And as it was just 1 year, in the end I felt like I could invest that. So when that was finished, I immediately started to study nutrition, and I stayed in the east of Germany, just a little bit closer to my home city, and a very, very, very little city, which is not very beautiful it wasn't back then, and it's not today, I know that, but I had a good time. I had a good time in general. Like, just the studies itself, I mentioned that in another video already, made me a little bit feel like I'm locked in my own cave here a little bit, because there were a lot of lies told in the studies, and I knew about these lies. Some of them I didn't know, but I figured it out back then, and as more information you get from experts all over the planet, you connect the dots and you realize more and more what's actually going on. In the end, it's all about money, to make this short. But so basically but I wanted to have this degree because a degree like that can open a lot of doors. And if it's just for going in a cheap way to another country and to move there and to live there, it's totally worth it in my opinion. Basically I studied for 2 years, and then I already started on the side to work as a personal trainer in a gym close to the city, and I hadn't had the opportunity to coach people really as a nutritionist, because I didn't have the skill set, I didn't have the education. I just started, right? I had the body, but I didn't have the skill set and the education. And normally people, especially in Germany, they always want to see a paper. They're not really interested in your results, they want to see the paper, unfortunately. But, so what I did, I make the best out of that. I switched that around, and I started my own first side business through the studies. I started coaching people for free in 2015, in the end of 2015 that was, yes, correct. Don't want to give you the wrong number here. I started coaching people for free. Some of them I did personal training, but most of them I did online coaching. So I made the best out of that. I just thought, okay, it's the best way right now. This is one of the opportunities I have right now. I should use that. I know there are people out there. I know I have the skill set already to really help them. I might not be an expert, but I can help you. And that's what I did. So yeah, that's what happened. I started coaching people, then people started to pay me for my services, but it was always like a side hustle, all right? So I always just tried to do something, help people. They referred me to new people and so on, and this is how you build that up slow by slow. But my goal was never to have long-term clients. My goal was always to help people for a certain amount of time, and this is how I work still today. Help people over 1 or 2 months, give them all the information they need, coach them week by week, and then after that they should be able, that they don't need me anymore. If they need me still after 2 months, I did my job wrong. Honestly, that's just how I see that, and I wanna give them all the tools and all the skills they need to know and all the information to do that on their own after a certain amount of time. All right, so that was always my goal. So people referred me to other people, blah blah blah. This is how it goes. And an important factor was when I went back to, sorry, just a doorbell ring right now. So, but anyway, we keep going right now. So I was studying, and at the end of 2017, I moved to San Francisco, where I got an internship, and I knew this is gonna be awesome. Again, I was moving out of Germany one more time. Plan was actually well, it was planned a half a year, but all of a sudden I got the contract, and the contract was for 1.5 years. So I was like, hey, let's do it. Hey, let's go. So yeah, I went, and one more time, the foreign country changed my life completely. And now we're getting close where we are today here right now. So I got to know my mentor, Rick, and he educated me a lot in nutrition. He educated me how to read a blood panel. He educated me with his own personal experience with his clients. I helped them, and I also, for the company itself, so he was an independent contractor with the company, but I was employed at the company, and I had over 100 consultations with people over there, mostly initiating consultations where we were talking about like 20-30 minutes. What can we do right now? How can we shift, and so on. Some of them was paid, some of them was free, but for me it really didn't matter if it was paid or not, because what mattered for me was that I figured out for myself that all people have one thing in common, and this is stress. Stress with work, stress with relationships, stress with themselves because they don't love themselves. Stress leads to wrong food choices, and all that came together. Just over the month, I realized this is something where I really want to work on, and I really want to improve that in people's lifestyle. So that's what happened. So basically, that made me what I am today, because then after 1 year and 3 months, I finished a little bit earlier to come back for Christmas last year to my family, as I couldn't spend Christmas 2017 with them. So 18, I promised my mom to be home, and this is what I did. I came home, and then I finished my studies in nutrition in January. And right now I'm at the point where I coach people, you know, that in stress regulation, stress management, with the right supplementation, with the right diet, fitting inside of your lifestyle, flexible, ketogenic, carnivore diet, and yeah, just bringing the best out of people, and taking care of your health in general, right? I always have this holistic approach, which I also learned in San Francisco, so shout outs to SN Body, which really made me understand a little bit more the holistic way of thinking and looking at things, and not just being this stereotype bodybuilder. I look big, I look good, that's just not my motivation anymore, because for me what really drives me is seeing people changing, seeing people improving, and having a lasting change in influence in their life. That's just amazing to me, and if I can help people with that, just one person out there that is absolutely amazing, and my life has a meaning. Okay, so yeah, and right now I'm basically traveling the world because I always wanted to do that. It's actually cheaper than you might think if you're at the right places, especially in a place like Colombia here. And yeah, what can I say? I mean, it's amazing, it's great, and I would never change my job right now. I love what I'm doing for now. It's absolutely amazing. First time I'm completely self-employed. It's not always easy, but it can be simple, you know, and that's the difference. It can be simple if I'm still get coached, I'm still learning, I'm still growing, still collecting contacts all over the place, and this is what I love about traveling, because people making your life so much easier, you know. So yeah, that was just part 2 of my journey. I hope you enjoyed that, have a little bit more inside information for me as your coach. Again, feel free, reach out. I hope you have an amazing day, and yeah, let me know your thoughts in a personal message, in the comments. Text me, write me, reach out, call me. I'm there for you guys. See you, take action, reduce your stress, and see you tomorrow. Bye.